There's always one in every crowd, isn't there? In the biggest moment of my career, winning the biggest match of my life, you had to come in and embarrass me. Ruin my moment. August 11, Riot Eagles.
X5! -4.
We go into the ring for this belt. For 1 hour, the man who gets the most wins, the most pinfalls, the most submissions will walk away the champion. I had you. One more second, Riot Eagles, and you gave up. You gave up, you gutless son of a bitch.
I wanna stay at home for the end of the world. Finally asleep when they're talking about. This is all a dream. That's what I'll be singing. I wanna stay.
We'll show up in August, Riot Eagles.
Finally asleep when they're talking about. This is all.
We're gonna do it one more time.
That's what I'll be singing.
This time, don't back out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first match of the evening. Making his way towards ringside, representing the Nightmare Assassin Squad. He will be accompanied to the ring by Johnny St. Michael. He is the ultimate athlete, AJ Istria.
How you doing, PWAQ? We got this is the shit I grew up with. I do not like you. I do not care. Look at Look at him. Beautiful. Wonderful. Number one contender. Number one contender. Look at him. I'm not worthy, God, baby. I am God. That's right.
About to be making his way towards ringside, weighing in tonight at 68 kilograms. He comes from Olympia. Give it up for Teno.
Back and go home. You might not go home. Let's go.
Hot August fights getting underway, our first match of the evening. Mr. J sitting here with
Handsome Michael Schultz.
And we're here watching AJ Istria immediately start off quickly against Teno with those multiple shoulder blocks into the corner. The ultimate athlete trying to prove early that I guess he doesn't exactly know what he's doing here in this match against, I guess, what he and his manager were calling scrubs out there earlier. You saw, you know, Donnie St. Michael out there almost trying to convince the opponent just to give it up and go home before the match had even started.
Oh, Teno hooking what looks like to be a cross arm breaker variation around the ropes. Both men very new to the business and both men very inexperienced. But there's Donnie St. Michael right there taking advantage for his man.
Well, Donnie St. Michael always well known for taking advantage of other men, and you saw him there introducing the head to the side of the ring multiple times once again there to Cam Teno. Irish whip follows through with a knee to the midsection there, does AJ Istria, and the Ultimate Athlete certainly showing off pretty well and pretty early here. He's looking to make short work of Cam Teno from the looks of it.
Very nice move there. Leg drop to the back of the neck by AJ Istria. Follows up with a pin for the 1, 2, 2.5 there, Mr. J.
Josh Mars sliding in there for his first slide of the evening. Probably greased himself up earlier, hard to tell from this vantage point.
Do you reckon the grease just drips down from his hair, or do you think he rubs it all over his body?
Well, it's hard to tell with Josh Mars. Double arm underhook there, suplexes him straight over. Josh Mars very concerned with that hair, and I guess when you look like Josh Mars, you've got to be concerned about something, so it might as well be the hair.
Very true. A bit almost brainbuster-like move there, Mr. J. Something I've never really seen a double underhook brainbuster before.
Well, Donnie St. Michael there at ringside, very appreciative, but listen to the chops.
That was a Dr. Spock chop, I think, there, Mr. J. May the force be with Cam Teno.
Oh, comes over straight around there, almost cartwheel-like, then comes back onto his feet and delivers that big shoulder block full force into the midsection of Cam Teno, and Cam Teno is not looking good out there at the moment.
Very interesting on his cartwheel there. Many people go to the side for the side motion. He went straight over. Not something you see very often.
Dropping down full force with that leg drop across the neck and the chest, just breathing the life out of Cam Teno there. But look at the cocky cover, just straight over top there, and only gets a 2 count for his trouble. Didn't bother to hook the leg, and Donnie St. Michael's got words for the referee about it. In fact, Donnie St. Michael seems to have words for the whole front row out there at the moment as well. He's arguing with them too. No surprise, Donnie St. Michael never out to make friends.
Oh, nice side belly-to-belly suplex there by AJ Istria. He has the skills, he has the talent, but he's just way too cocky in there, Mr. J.
And we've still not received word at this stage. AJ Istria, of course, well, #1 contender at this stage. He's looking out for that shot at some point, but I guess we're waiting for Donnie St. Michael to be making... Oh, did he just land right on his head with that one?
He just sent on his face, Mr. J.
And still only a 2 count. Cam Teno still manages to get the shoulder up after taking the full weight of AJ Istria right onto his head.
AJ Istria just totally dominating the new Cam Teno.
And as I was saying, AJ Istria, #1 contender for the international title, currently held by Mason Childs out there. But AJ Istria has yet to actually, well, we haven't heard anything from Donnie St. Michael about when he might take that shot.
We did see that promo earlier. AJ Istria starting to wrestle like a champion. Saying to dress like a champion, now he needs the trolley bag. Trolley bag, Mr. J. Trolley bag.
Trolley bag certainly seemed to be the word of the evening. Trolley bag. And it will be haunting me for days to come, the words trolley bag, wherever I go. I guess Donnie St. Michael a little concerned that Cam Teno, AJ Istria was showing up there looking a little bit like a bag lady with the luggage that he was bringing to the show. Donnie St. Michael certainly doesn't want... Look at that, Donnie St. Michael getting involved again, tripping Cam Teno down. He doesn't want his man, he wants AJ Istria to look like the champion. He believes AJ Istria will soon be a champion. He wants him to look the part as well.
Right, wrist clutch exploder. That's his signature move, Mr. J.
And look at the cover.
1, 2, 3.
Just leans over, legs crossed. He's got it won with that move.
Some ringside fans there standing and applauding, but the main feeling is all booze.
I think you'll find that was actually just Donnie St. Michael standing and applauding. He just looks like a lot of fans, all sort of in one place. And sounds like even more. But once again, the winner of the match, AJ Istria, takes a fairly easy victory over Cam Teno.
Very much so.
I've got this. Mason Childs, Ryan Eagles, stay no time. Stay there. Get down. Put me on his shoulder.
What's he doing? I'm not sure exactly how to call this. Not really jubilation.
Is it a celebration ride?
Look at this. #1 contender.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way towards ringside, representing the Style Council.
Listen to the fat bass.
And beating it by Deacon Star. Making his way towards ringside, all the way from Sydney and weighing in tonight at 100 kilograms. This is PWAQ. And ladies and gentlemen, this match is the first of our PWA Elite State of Origin matchup.
And this one about to get underway, the first of the State of Origin matchups, the PWA Elite State of Origin matches. We're seeing Queensland, well, I guess the brighter side of sexy, Sirius, taking on New South Wales, and this is the first of these State of Origin matchups tonight.
Very true. We saw a pose down there. With your experience in the bodybuilding industry, Mr. J, with the physique you have, how would you have point scored those two?
Well, it'd certainly be close, because you've got to give points in different directions and different things, but I would say that I'd have to give the slight edge to Fox. I'd definitely give the edge to Fox.
Fair enough. It's the black tights, isn't it?
It probably is the black tights, and it was also slightly that entrance that I know is an entrance that would make Fabulous Sebastian proud to see something like that on a man.
God bless you, Sebastian, wherever you are.
And these two are hooking it up in the center of the ring there, Greco-Roman tie-up. Star getting powered back to the corner there by Fox. Fozzie Young in position, separating the men. The Chad Skyze at ringside there, always with a few words of support for his style council partner there. That is, they are being
poked there by Deacon Star, always taking the cheap way out.
And a picture-perfect drop kick there as well, and the Playboy good looks, the Playgirl good looks perhaps of Deacon Star there.
Did you notice the centerfold pose after the drop kick, the play with the hair? This is a new man from the first time we saw him out there with Adam Gambino. He has changed so much. He has just become arrogant. Look, once again, another drop kick, another centerfold pose, and a high five for the Chad with those spanking new pants.
I think that Deacon Star may have been reading the Playgirl issue with Shawn Michaels a little too much there, because it looked like he was going for the similar pose that Michaels had going on and that issue of Playgirl from back in the day.
I never said that poster was on Coyote's wall. What are you on about?
Dropping headfirst into the mat there from Fox, and Deacon Star back up. And once again, one of the things that I have to bring into question, the Style Council, the name, the Style Council. Surely, looking at how these two men dress, they have to be being ironic with that. We've got stripes, we've got stars, we've got galoshes, we've got boots, we've got white, we've got blue, we've got black. That is not bringing into account the pink, the shiny blue, his name on his butt, the dancing, and everything else that we've got going on today with the Style Council. Irony, surely.
Too much of a mouthful there for me, Mr. J. Nice hip toss float over there by Deacon Star, followed up with a very nice single-footed stomp.
Well, very much at the moment. It's looking like Deacon Star has the number of Fox. It's looking like Deacon Star, in fact, has been able to counter virtually every move thrown at him in this match so far.
A nice hip toss block roll through into a fireman's carry pin. The Deacon Star back on top with the eye rake and the stomp.
And of course a pose as well. I'm not really sure exactly that he's playing to the crowd in this match. It appears to be more that he's playing to the Chad in this match.
The Chad Skyze, we will see him later on against Nick XL's mystery opponent.
That's exactly right, the Chad. He obviously upset Nick XL by no showing the last show. Nick XL has the announcement tonight exactly who he will face, and I guess we'll be finding out very soon.
There's a lot of speculation. Nick XL is saying this man has never wrestled in any PWA before. Chad Skyze taking the dirty tactics there, taking Rob Fox out of the ring, working him over on the outside while Graham Fozzie Young's back his turn.
Okay, the sunglasses and bandana look. Seriously, what year is this?
It's not a bandana, it's a do-rag, Mr. J, as they call it in the ghettos of Alex Hills, a do-rag.
I'm not really sure exactly how much of a do that D-Chad has anymore exactly, and I'm curious. Perhaps we shall see it later on, but I'm just curious about what's under that do-rag, if that's what the kids are calling it.
They're the hip kids. Nice tornado DDT there by Rob Fox.
I think he may have actually broke the hair. The hair may actually be in jeopardy now. I saw it come out, it was looking spiky, it's looking a little flat on one side now, and the Chad's over to check, the Chad's over to give him a bit of a helpful rub there, give his belly a bit of a rub, a playful rub and a giggle.
Yeah, why not?
And I think that could very well get Deacon Star back into the action. The Chad's looking concerned, you can see him in there trying to get in close, get some word, I guess try and gauge what the situation is. He doesn't certainly want the Style Council at this early stage of their careers coming up with another loss.
Another dirty tactic by Deacon Star as Rob Fox tried to rally, make his comeback with the waist lock, and then a back kick low blow.
And Fox is obviously hurt down on the mat, clutching low, shall we say. And Deacon, of course, is going to take advantage of it with a short, sharp right hand to the side of the head. Setting him up for a suplex, snaps him over with it, rolls through with it himself, but rather than going straight into a cover, stops for a pose first. Amazing 3-inch vertical leap there from the Chad. That's pretty impressive.
You sure he just didn't lift the knee and then the other knee?
Okay, there could have been timing to it. Up to the top goes Deacon Star on the top rope now, looking for his man, getting back up to his feet. Star rolls through and misses completely, hitting only the mat. Fox backs himself into the corner out of the way, waiting for Star to come up. Comes through with a big clothesline that turns him upside down and inside out.
Very powerful clothesline there by Rob Fox, and now he's heading to the top.
Fox up to the top, you can hear him calling for Deacon Star to his feet. Spins through, tumbleweed through on top of him. Deacon Star is down, he's hooking the leg. Referee is distracted by the Chad. I'm not sure if he's distracted by the Chad, whether it's the shirt, whether it's the pants, whether it's the arrogance, whether it's the smell, but either way, the Chad's certainly getting the job done and buying Deacon some time to come through with that enormous kick to the head. Goes straight for the cover, and that's the 3, says Graham Fozzie Young.
Another cheap win for Deacon Star.
Well, it's kind of what the Style Council are becoming known for, the cheap wins, the win at all costs, and I guess that's what we're seeing.
But at the end of the day, Mr. J, no one remembers the match, they remember the wins and the losses, and these guys are racking them up.
That's exactly right. The winner of the match, Deacon Star, in there celebrating with D-Chad Skyze. The Style Council victorious once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, returning to the ringside area, all the way from the Gold Coast, from the penthouse apartment of Q1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Chad Skyze. And he's accompanied by Deacon Star. I've actually got nothing listed here. I haven't got... Chad, I don't have it listed here who your opponent is.
I don't know who it is. I've beat them all. I always beat them all.
Okay, well, I've got nothing here. I guess it's...
This guy that looks like someone took a shit in his chin has a surprise opponent for me. Who is it, Ben?
Well, okay, I guess we're cueing Nick XL to the ring. It's time for the commish to dish the dirt and to respond with, I guess, just who we are going to be seeing tonight as the Chad's opponent.
Chad, last show initial conflict, you were scheduled to wrestle. Dickhead, get out of the ring. You missed a scheduled match. Yeah. What? Listen, Twinkie, you missed a scheduled match. You were supposed to be there. Tonight is your punishment. You've had no time to plan. You had nothing.
I don't need to play. The Chad's the best.
Sure. Before I tell you your opponent is, I'm debuting the newest candy. Everyone should buy one. It's my personal favorite. Yeah, you like it? #1 seller. That's it. Get his opponent out here. Stay moving. Wherever your opponent is.
That's not funny.
We're about to get the crap beaten out of you. Why? Who you know this today? Dave Ross!
Well, we've heard the music. We see the man, Dave Ross, the mystery opponent from Nick XL, as punishment against the Chad Skyze for no showing the last event. The returning Dave Ross for the first time in a PWA wrestling ring.
Dave Ross is a well-known Australian amateur wrestler, and now he's bringing his skills to PWA Queensland, and we're glad to have him on board.
And look at the shape that he's in out there. It doesn't look like he's lost a step since I last saw him in action. If anything, he looks a little bigger, certainly in impressive shape, certainly looking in a much better shape than, say, the Chad Skyze is looking out there tonight.
But do you reckon his ring attire is as good as the Chad Skyze?
Well, it's certainly not as, shall we say, eye-catching, perhaps. We'll go with eye-catching at the moment, because that pink fluoro-blue combo in the flared look with the do-rag and the sunglasses is a look that only the Chad Skyze could master and manage to pull off.
Very true.
And the Chad does not look happy about finding out who his opponent for tonight is.
Well, the Chad came in knowing he wouldn't know who his opponent was, so he can't be too upset.
Perhaps he was just riled up by the hottest selling item of PWA merchandise, I believe, ever. The I Love Wiener Chad Skyze stand-up.
If you don't have one yet, you should buy 5.
You can personalise them yourself. He can say any number of things.
What else could he love, Mr. J?
I'm sure there's many things that the Chad could love. Deacon Star immediately comes to mind. I saw a picture of the two of them kissing. I don't know how doctored it was. I saw it, I believe, on Mark Davis's shirt a show or two ago.
I think that was also in your photo album, wasn't it, Mr. J?
That was a personal album. I don't know how it was made public. Oh, slap to the face of Dave Ross. The girls of the audience are all in tears, I believe now, that there could have been some damage done to the face of the lady killer, Dave Ross.
The lady killer versus the Wickham killer.
He's a legend at the Wickham, I understand. They have pictures of him all around, especially in the male toilets. And
slaps the do-rag off his head.
I don't know, as I was discussing earlier, as I'm seeing these shots to the head of the Chad, it's thrown off now into this Irish whip, followed through with a big shoulder block there. That's obviously the weight advantage of the Chad coming into play. Goes over top, leapfrog there. Dave Ross underneath now, comes up again and catches him right in the face, knocks him straight down. I'm noticing now the do-rag is off there a little. There's not that much of a do going on underneath.
Not on top.
I was seeing a bit of a shine. I was seeing a bit of a shine off the lights here at PWAQ.
And it's not exactly a Mark Davis business on top party at the back, if you get what I mean.
He's going up to the top, straight off, straight into the air and straight down to the floor. No mats on the floor here at PWAQ. That was a beautiful crossbody from the top, straight down, full impact, full force. Straight onto the hardwood. And the Chad has obviously heard his boys there trying to breathe some life back into him. Dave Ross slow to get up as well, and is it any wonder he must have been about 12 to 15 feet in the air. He was diving up in the air before coming down. And look at the Chad going headfirst into the tables there in front of the ringside fans. Hot August Fights is ablaze here tonight as Dave Ross debuts with PWAQ and is taking it immediately to the Chad Skyze.
Fans trying to help Chad out there, giving him a bit of a drink in the face.
Well, we know that Chad can be revitalised by having things spurting in his face. That could actually do it for him. And look at Deacon Star distracting Dave Ross so the Chad is able to take advantage and guillotine him down over that top rope.
Yep, throat first across the top rope there.
And that's going to take the life out of you very quickly as Dave Ross is just finding out, picking him up and slamming him straight down Gourdbuster style, dropping him face first in that suplex type positioning onto the stomach and onto just the full front, hooks the leg, goes for a cover early, does the Chad. And you can hear the fans chanting.
The Chad chant.
Already getting on the case of the Chad. What was that?
3 straight rights and then a wiggly left, Mr. J.
I think it was the wiggly left that threw me. Big slam. The Chad staggers through, looking to follow through, not exactly sure what he's coming up with. Big splash down. Standing frog splash onto Dave Ross from the Chad. Goes behind, picks him up. Dave Ross still favouring that midsection there, and is it any wonder after being dropped down onto it and then followed up with the actual frog splash and then this bear hug type positioning that he's following now with the elbows to break it through.
Off-road's knee to the midsection by the Chad. He may be ugly, he may have bad dress sense, he may be going bald, but he knows how to wrestle.
Well, he's certainly picked a body part, and it appears at the moment that it's either the ribs or the midsection of Dave Ross that he is going to town on.
You got to think, big chop there by Chad, but you got to think his theory is if Dave Ross can't breathe, he can't wrestle, and he's going to take him down.
Irish whip again comes through with that big flying back elbow right to the face, and Dave Ross is down again, and the Chad goes for the cover. They say in boxing that you can shrug off a headshot, that eventually you'll get over it, but body shots are what takes the life from you, and that exactly looks to be the case of what we're seeing from the Chad. Not exactly sure of the submission hold that he's going for there, but he's bending him back on it and certainly opening up that midsection and bending back on the ribs. You can see Dave Ross trying to really just almost hold it all in place there as the Chad hammered down on it earlier.
Deacon Star distracting super referee Josh Mars as Chad Skyze uses the ropes for leverage.
Just because Josh Mars walked around backstage with a towel around his neck and in his underwear does not make him super referee. He might think that, but it really doesn't. Referee in, checking to see if Dave Ross can still continue there. The Chad once again going to the ropes for added leverage. Referee's trying to break the hold, does so. Dave Ross comes through, beals him over, straight into the covering position. I guess that's the amateur style background coming in, always trying to go on the top and get the cover.
It's a very nice side take over there by Dave Ross.
And a big open hand slap. Reversal there, reversal again. Belly to belly over the top from Dave Ross, but he's too hurt to actually take advantage of it. The Chad is down. You can see him grasping at his back, but Dave Ross still grasping at those ribs at that midsection and slow to get back to his feet. Snapmares him over and then goes behind into a surfboard-like position.
Stretching out the shoulders of Chad there. And with the knee in the back, putting pressure on the back as well. turns it round into a cattle mutilation, Mr. J.
That's right. I'm looking at the moment at the wear that the Chad's polo shirt is getting out there, and I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps the Chad has started shopping at the same place we saw that AJ Istria might be shopping now.
Very true. Chad Skyze there getting the quick rope break, knowing where he is in the ring at all times, but taking the cheap way there, raking the eyes of Dave Ross.
Dave Ross hung over the top rope. The Chad comes into position, picking him up on the shoulders, fireman's carry like. Trying to set him up there, trying to get the head over. Oh, spins him round, drops him down. Looks like he caught that midsection right onto the knee. Once again, doing more damage to those already damaged lower ribs.
That move looked like it took a lot out of the Chad as well. Both men down.
Well, I guess it's a long way to drop down from that penthouse apartment that the Chad is used to living in, used to surviving in, used to, I guess, jacuzziing with his friends in.
Doesn't Ian Thorpe own the penthouse of Q1, Mr. J?
Perhaps he and the Chad are neighbours. Perhaps they live together. I wouldn't question Ian Thorpe's sexuality.
Oh, headstand into a double foot kick there by the Chad, showing some athleticism.
And look at the cocky cover though, single foot after the double-footed mule kick from the corner. He goes for the single-footed cover and only manages to get a 1 count and seems upset that he only got a 1 count. I mean, if he wanted more, why didn't he try and hook the leg?
Big jumping scissor kick there by the Chad.
Followed by some sort of primal scream from the sound of it as well. And the Chad is going right up top. He's going high-rise now. Straight over with a big moonsault, connecting only with Matt. What is it with the Style Council tonight that they are unable to connect from those big high-risk top rope maneuvers?
No water in the pool for either of them tonight, Mr. J.
And the Chad is down and the Chad is hurt, and he's got to be favouring that midsection now as well. Dave Ross, though, still down, still hurt, slow to get to his feet, cannot take advantage of the mistake that we have seen from the Chad Skyze. And listen to the fans getting behind Dave Ross. In his first match here in PWAQ, he already has the fans straight on his side. And look at those two stiff clotheslines and a big shot to the side of the head of the Chad.
Another belly-to-belly suplex by the very educated Dave Ross.
And that is a big man to be thrown over there, the Chad. What is Deacon Star doing with Josh Mars?
Why isn't Josh fighting it off?
I'm not sure. Josh Mars seemed to be smiling at it. Dave Ross comes in there with that reverse, shall we call it a reverse atomic drop? Either way, dropped him down and then followed it through there, hooks the leg, goes for the cover. Very close into the corner there, and the Chad knows it. You said it earlier, Ring General knows where he is at all times.
Very much so. Fame Asa on the Chad. You were talking about irony before, Mr. J. I think there's some irony right there from Dave Ross.
I think so. Because the Chad, with his name emblazoned across the back of his tights there, I guess there's a lot of room to move, shall we say, with that name. That must have been about 2 3/4 there from Josh Mars. And Dave Ross once again distracted by Deacon Star. The Chad back to his feet. That was low. There is no way that you could call that anything but low. And look at him roll through. He's got the legs hooked. Josh Mars slides in, and that is a 3.
2 cheap wins tonight for the Style Council.
And the Style Council obviously have, and I guess some gestures, shall we say, for Nick XL there about what he thought of this matchup.
Our next matchup of the evening is another of our elite State of Origin matches. These are the matches put together with PWA Queensland, PWA Elite. This matchup is for the PWA Heavyweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, first making his way towards ringside, he comes from the darkest region of his own mind. Ladies and gentlemen,
This match for the PWA heavyweight title on the line. You're seeing Blakestone in the ring going one-on-one tonight with Sorrow. And Sorrow, the mystery woman, Sway at ringside once again. We saw her show up at the last show. She is definitely now in the corner of Sorrow.
She is, Mr. J. We got Dave Ross, we got Sway. Who will be next to join PWA Queensland?
Well, there's certainly a lot of free agents out there in the sport and ones that aren't tied to specific promotions anywhere around this country. And PWAQ is fast becoming the division to be in for competition and strong competition. And look at this as Blakestone just powers off Sorrow there, shrugs him off and throws him back into the corner.
I don't think I've seen a man with the size and the intensity of the machine Blakestone in Australian wrestling ever.
Big side headlock, and look at him just press down on it, full force there, flexing those arms around the head, trying to pop a blood vessel into the head of Sorrow.
Nearly ripped that frollet off Sorrow there, keeping the headlock on.
Goes for the Irish whip, comes through. I don't think that Sorrow was ever going to win a test of strength with Blakestone. Over the top, leapfrog style, comes through again, catches him, not sure exactly what he was going for, perhaps a hip toss, either way. Blakestone caught and hammered him down, went for the Irish whip, reversed once again, hip toss that time, and Blakestone goes straight over. Sorrow's behind him, arm drags him down to the mat and slaps on that figure four armbar, working on the arm and shoulder of the big man, Blakestone.
If Sorrow's going to survive, he's going to have to use his quickness and his technical ability, Mr. J, to keep one step ahead of Blakestone.
Look at him go up there for a crucifix, rolls back with it, hooks it. It looks like he had actually a bit too much momentum there, and Blakestone went through with it, rolls behind again. One count, was that a one or a two? Hard to see, but either way, Blakestone's still able to get out. Still too early to, I think, use a move that's going to take away Blakestone's strength.
Schoolboy there by Sorrow, only gets a 2 count. Blakestone in the ropes, another big shoulder block.
Well, Blakestone is certainly all bulk, all muscle, and nigh invulnerable out there, and you saw him just run through Sorrow that time, and Sorrow was down and hurt after taking that advantage early on, and look at that clothesline. Just about decapitating and just about doing, I'd hate to think, what sort of internal damage to the body of Sorrow, because he went down hard from that one. Shot to the back of the head, Irish whip off once again, just waiting for him, catches him coming through. Looked like Sorrow was trying to grab around the head. It almost looked like both guys got a move off on that one. Sorrow was trying to catch him, Blakestone was trying to counter it. Both men went down.
Nice drop kick there by Sorrow, knocking Blakestone into the corner.
It looked like Blakestone was trying to beg off there for a second, telling Sorrow not to come in.
Oh no.
Oh! That multiple chop combination, the left and right chops that Blakestone is becoming known for.
Even Graham Fozzie Young's feeling those chops, Mr. J.
I think everyone in the arena is feeling those chops. Blakestone certainly felt that boot to the face as he ran through and then dropped down straight into the knees there from Sorrow. Single leg trip from behind. Blakestone down on the mat. Sorrow comes through, drops down with the senton into the midsection.
Oh, is it up with a pin, but only gets 2.
Still too early to, I guess, count out the strength of Blakestone.
Jackknife roll up there once again, only gets 2. Sorrow following up with a lot of roll-ups, a lot of pins, making Blakestone kick Sorrow's body weight off him, which will tire Blakestone out as the match goes on.
Going for a sunset flip now, the weight advantage too much, and look at Blakestone just pull him from underneath, takes him with that double-handed choke and just throws him over the top.
He just bealed him by his neck from one side of the ring to the other, Mr. J. That wasn't just ropes to ropes, that was corner to corner. That is the longest part of the ring, which is over 7 meters, and he nearly threw him the whole 7 meters.
And look at that big short arm clothesline there. He is taking Sorrow to school right now. Goes behind, picks him up. Sorrow rolls through, pushes off, runs into the ropes, rolls back, obviously going for some sort of a roll up again. Big blow, and you can hear each and every one of Blakestone's shots. Look at the military press.
Into a big spine buster.
Every one of Blakestone's shots you can hear, even now. You can hear it. I can hear it from the commentary position. Every shot. Everyone in the audience in the arena can hear those shots. That is the force that he is putting into them.
Like him or hate him, we've got to respect his ability, Mr. J. Nice cravat there by Blakestone. Follows up with some knee strikes right to the face.
And you can hear him talking to the audience.
How about it, Sarah? What do you say?
Who's the man?
Sorrow struggling to come back here. He's already taken a lot of punishment in this match.
Enziguri right to the back of the neck there by Sorrow.
And still not enough to take Blakestone off his feet. Hooks the leg, comes back, side Russian leg sweep. Rolls through with it, bringing him back up to his feet again for a second one.
Do you think that could be called the three comrades, Mr. J?
It could very well be if he hits this third one for sure. There is the third one of the side Russian leg sweeps, taking Blakestone down. Sorrow rolls over for the cover. Blakestone manages to get the shoulder up. Notice that he's not using any more force than is absolutely necessary though. Not wanting to exert energy by throwing Sorrow up. He just lifts that shoulder and that is enough to break the 3 count.
I think somewhere Nikolai Volkov has one tear running down his eye, happy knowing that the Russian leg sweep is being done.
Shots to the side of the head now in the corner from Sorrow, working over Blakestone. Irish whipped off once again into the opposing corner. Sorrow runs through, Blakestone out of the way, turns him round, takes him over with a huge German suplex. And Sorrow is down and it doesn't look like he's moving at the moment. Blakestone certainly hasn't had enough though. Picks him up on the shoulder, slams him down, power slam style. Rakes the bottom of his boot across the face. And there's that left-right 4-chop combination.
I heard Blakestone backstage. I think he calls it the bitch slap combo.
The bitch slap combo is certainly coming into full effect here. I don't think I really need to say what the audience are chanting, do I?
No.
Looks like he was setting him up there. Sorrow managed to get out of it. Sorrow sets him up there. It looked like he was going there for a DDT that was blocked. Now Blakestone's setting him up. Gets him up. He's right up there. Looked like he was going for a powerbomb. Sorrow reversed it once again. Shot of his own. Drops down into a DDT and takes the big man down. And that is using all of his weight against him. Dropping that 300 plus pounds straight onto the top of the head of Blakestone.
Double arm DDT, one of the finishes Sorrow is known for. He still can't put away Blakestone. Been in control of this match a lot, but when Blakestone has come back, he's made his comebacks really mean something.
Blakestone still quick enough to get out of the way there. Catches Sorrow running into the corner. Gets him right up on the shoulders. Drops him down to the mat. And Sorrow isn't moving quickly. Blakestone rolls on top for a cover, picks him up at the 2 count. Not entirely sure that he had Sorrow beat there anyway. Sorrow looked like he certainly was far from out, but either way, Blakestone looked to be lifting him up in that positioning to inflict more punishment.
Blakestone, sadistic man indeed.
Huge power bomb, and he's picking him up for a second one. And drops him down for it. Sorrow is definitely down and definitely hurt now. And look at Blakestone snapping those straps down.
He's not done with Sorrow. 2 power bombs is not enough, Mr. J.
Well, you saw a bit of a pose there for the audience, and look at him just trying to pick up Sorrow, who's just about dead weight out there. You can see him struggling to pick him up. Gets him up again, runs around with it. This is going to be full impact, full force on that power bomb, that running power bomb.
Graham Fozzie Young having to call it. Sorrow is out cold.
And Blakestone's asking for the belt. He doesn't want his hand raised, he wants his belt. your winner, the PWA heavyweight champion, Blakestone, getting the belt strapped onto him. And you can see he appears at his most comfortable when he has that belt around his waist.
Can't deny the ability, Mr. J.
This mountain of a man, this massive muscle, Blakestone, once again powers through his opponents here in PWA Queensland with a monster powerbomb on Sorrow.
What's he doing, Mr. J?
I don't think he's finished with him. He's coming back to inflict more punishment from the looks of it. Sorrow wasn't even moving in the ring there. And now we're seeing Sway step into the ring as well. They're going nose to nose out there. Ah! Big slap on Blakestone. Sway snapping it over into the ring by... Oh, you don't think he's going to... Ah! And there is that 4-chop combo, the bitch slap combo, if you will, on Sway. And I think that is Blakestone putting the exclamation mark on this appearance for PWA Queensland.
Commissioner XL can't be happy with that.
First off, making his way towards ringside from the land of the Giants, via Eagle Beat, give it up for Kyote!
And this one about to get underway, a battle of the super heavyweights here, with Adam Gambino from Melbourne coming up to take on PWAQ's homegrown monster, the Kyote. And he starts it off by spinning right in his eye and then trying to run straight into him. The big man staggered but doesn't go down. Shoulder block again. Gambino looks like he's hurting himself more than he is the Kyote.
Big wild swing by Kyote. Going for his patented sidewalk slam, but Gambino turns it into a tilt-a-whirl head scissors.
The world's biggest tilt-a-whirl head scissors, I would say there. If you checked out the legs on either of these guys, they're like the size of tree trunks out there. And this babyface Gambino, if that really is his name, is out there already throwing the referee, the super heavyweight referee, out of the way. Kyote staggered on the outside. Gambino comes down, dropping the hammer. Shot to the side of the head. Back chop across the chest. Shot to the elbow there. And then Gambino goes down right in front of the ringside fans.
Kyote taking it to the streets. Big knee strike and clubbing forearm to the back of Gambino.
And you can see at ringside there, one of the friends of the Beard Club for Men that I believe actually counts Kyote and Nick XL as clients. Oh, look at him go straight into the table that collapses right there.
I'm out of there, Mr. J. I'm going to hide backstage for a little bit.
Look at them. The table just collapsed under the weight there of Kyote's head. Going straight into it, full force there from Adam Gambino, now throwing him into that stage area. Gambino looks like he's climbing up onto the stage. I'm not sure exactly what he's got it planned. At the moment, he's just stomping on the head from the looks of it. Ah! Big kick to the side of the head on Kyote. Jumps up. Not sure exactly what he was going for, but he got caught up there. Shots to the side of the head, knee to the midsection now. Kyote picks up Gambino and slams him on the floor. You know, I thought for a second that Kyote was going to climb up on that scaffold and drop down. Picking him up now, leading him back towards the ring.
Sorry about that, Mr. J.
Where did you go?
I went and saw old mate, Hot Dog Canteen Boy, doing a good job as always, looking as handsome as ever.
Gambino down on the mat. You know what? I think you were running scared there for a second, just trying to get away from these two guys.
I don't run scared, Mr. J.
Shots to the back of the head.
Let's just call the wrestling and not worry about where I pranced off to, okay?
Look at him just run in there, full weight into the corner. Gambino comes out and falls face first down to the mat. He doesn't have quite the swagger he had when he came out earlier now, does he?
He sends him into the corner again. There's that big patented side slam I was talking about before.
And Gambino is down and hurt. Kyote bounces off the ropes, comes through, drops down with a monster elbow. I guess the Eagleby elbow perhaps, dropping down full force into the chest area, the chest cavity of Adam Gambino.
That's 140 kilos, Mr. J. I'm surprised it didn't break any ribs. Both men trading leg kicks.
Oh! Was that... I think that was the world's biggest Enzugiri we saw there. He held the leg, rolled through with it, with a kick to the back of the head of Gambino that has him down, eating mat.
I think if you're watching slow-mo, Mr. J, you can see the breeze of Kyote's big leg waving Josh Mars' pretty hair around.
And look at him on top now. Look at the raining the blows down on him. It's like a mob hit out there as far as Gambino is concerned. He is trying to go to town and I guess try and prove himself as to be the superior super heavyweight in the Australian wrestling scene. You know, ever since Rise of the Warriors, Kyote has been out to prove himself. Chris Hero said that if Kyote kept with it, if he trained, if he went out there and fought night after night, he could very well be on his way to being the best big man in this sport in Australia. And right now, I believe that is exactly what Kyote is striving for.
If you look at Kyote now, compared to back in May, he's definitely hitting the gym, he's definitely getting in shape. And here's another win for the big fella.
Big wheelbarrow slam has it done, and you saw he held Gambino out there. It was like Gambino was being held up in midair. That is a lot of strength from the big man.
He calls that the Jafuku driver, Mr. J. Not quite sure what Jafuku stands for, but I'm not going to argue with him.
I don't think I'd be picking a fight with either of these men if I could help it. I don't think he's finished with him. He's grabbed him around the throat once again. You think he could be going for... He's got him up and drops him straight down with that howler, that choke slam down to the mat. And look at Josh Mars. He's out there dancing like a village person, trying to get him out of the ring. And this telling him that this match is over.
Now, someone else who's kind of been bagging me out recently, who says I'm losing it mentally, saying I'm going slightly cuckoo, not answering my phone calls, kind of ignoring me like I don't exist anymore. A former friend of mine, that friend, PWA International Champion Mason Childs. Now, Mason and me, we used to be buddies, we used to be thick, or as the African Americans call it, tights. But no, we're not, because you see, since he won the PWA International Championship, he's starting to believe his own bull. He's starting to think he's so good. Well, quite frankly, I got him up the top of the mountain. Now, when he met me, Mason Childs was a skinny little dork Not like the dork that serves the hot dogs back at the canteen. Yeah, dorkier than that. That's what a dork this man was until he met with a studly one. Mark Williamson gave him the knowledge how to succeed. Mark Williamson taught him all the tricks. Mark Williamson was like the Sherpa that got Sir Edmund Hillary up the top of Mount Everest. But see, now he's at the top of the mountain, I'm like that Sherpa. No one really knows who that Sherpa's name is, and you know, I've kind of been forgotten. Much like everyone I've managed in Aussie wrestling, you know, get them up the top, you know, they want to steal money from me, or you don't want to screw me over because I'm banging some bird that they've got a crush on. You know, it's like that. No, it really saddens me, Mason. It really, really saddens me because, you know, I thought we were mates. But, you know, I could just be the better man and forget about it. But quite frankly, I'm a vindictive so I'm not going to forget about it. So instead of being the Sherpa that people forget, Mason, you're going to be standing at the top and waving to the crowd, cheering the crowd, being a low-life son of a enjoying the adulation of the crowd. We all know you're fake. But you see, I'm going to knock the fakeness out of you. You're at the top of the mountain, I'm going to come down, I'm going to kick you off it, you son of a You ever want to cross me again, you piece of It will be the biggest mistake of your life!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup of our best of 5 series. For those of you who were at our last show, you saw Ashley Riot go 1-up in the series, and you saw the Nightmare Assassin squad. That's right, the Nightmare Assassin Jet squad. The nags, you saw the nags start to drop as Ash Riot went 1-up in the series. Tonight's match is a tap out or a knockout type rule. The only way to win is to make your opponent tap or to knock him out for a 10 count. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, making his way towards ringside, he is, without doubt, one of the greatest wrestlers I have seen come through the sport, and a man who has made a mark for himself in such a short time, all the way from Calabar. Give it up for Ash Riot! Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, representing the Nightmare Assassin squad, he is accompanied to the ring by Donnie, St. Michael. He makes his way to ringside from the Orient via New Farm. This is Seoul.
And we're back. Match 2 of 5 between Ash Riot and Seoul. Ash, very serious look on his face coming into this match. Big punch to the face there by Ash Riot, connecting right under the eye socket.
Ash Riot, he has promised that the Nightmare Assassin squad will be going down. He has promised to take them apart one at a time, and he has set his sights firmly at this stage on Seoul. Showing off a few sort of martial arts kicks there of his own, trying to take the leg out from under Seoul. I guess if he can take away the legs, he can take away the kicks, and if he takes away the kicks, he takes away one of the major weapons of the arsenal of Seoul. Look at the Dragon Whip takedown, hooking the leg in now around the back of his head, going for that submission straight off the bat.
You gotta remember, last match, Ash Riot made Seoul tap out to that same hold, so he's obviously going to go for it in this tap out or knockout match.
Well, you can see him certainly going to work on the leg, going to work on the knee and thigh there, trying to take it out from under him and perhaps do some damage to them to go back to that move later on.
You got to give young Ashley Riot some credit. If you go strike for strike with Seoul, you're a very game man.
Seoul very, very tough, very, very educated in the ring there. He's a man who's been in the sport for a little time now. He's brought the martial arts background into the pro wrestling stylings. And look at him come through there with that Greco-Roman takedown, goes on top and immediately goes to the punches there. Almost ultimate fighting style.
He's come in with the gloves that you don't normally see him wear, so he's obviously going to go for some strikes.
And Ash Riot once again going back to the leg, going back to that submission hold, and Seoul probably smartly makes it to the ropes there, getting some words of advice from Donnie St. Michael. Not sure that "come on Seoul" is exactly the words of advice that he was looking for. Setting Ash Riot in the corner, working him over with those rolling elbows to the side of the head, runs back through, comes through, Ash Riot moves out of the way, comes back with some kicks of his own to the midsection, has Seoul hanging there in the corner, Irish whip into the reverse corner, Ash Riot sets him up now, comes through but gets met with huge knees right into the chest that sends Ash Riot down to the mat.
Tony Jaa like there by Seoul, connecting with the double knees, knocking Ash Riot silly.
One of the signature moves there, I guess you would say, of Seoul, being brought out early and taking Ash Riot down. Oh, and there's a third kick to the chest, and look at the slap across the face, and Ash Riot comes up with one in return. They're just trading blows out there. Elbows, shots to the face. Slabs, big rolling elbow, big clothesline.
La Riot there by Ash Riot. Both men are down.
And you can hear Donnie St. Michael trying to get behind Seoul, and you can look and you can see the fans getting behind Ash Riot. Ash Riot takes off the elbow pad there, setting him up once again. Seoul ducks underneath, comes over, looks like he's setting him up. I thought he was setting him up for an arm breaker. He's just delivering those elbows to the side of the head of Ash Riot.
Ash Riot rolls out for the reversal, and now he's going for the elbow strikes to the head.
Not the best angle for our referee there. Not quite picking up what the fans at ringside are saying, but it doesn't sound good for Seoul anyway.
Sounded like foot apparel, something to do with socks maybe, Mr. J.
Seoul back up to his feet, Ash Riot in the corner, comes staggering through. Seoul grabs him and takes him over. Picture perfect throw there.
Saito suplex there, dropping Ash Riot on his head and shoulder.
Both of these men are already hurt. Both of these men going out all guns blazing in this matchup, both with something to prove. Ash Riot has promised that he will take down the Nightmare Assassin squad. Seoul obviously determined to not let that happen and perhaps become the #1 man in the Nightmare Assassin squad that seemingly at this stage is reserved for AJ Istria.
Hypothetically, Mr. J, if AJ Istria takes his title shot before the best of 5 series finishes, we could possibly see AJ Istria versus Seoul for the PWA International title if Istria were successful to win the belt.
I think that would be Donnie St. Michael's both worst nightmare and wet dream rolled into one. Look at these shots now from Ash Riot working on the side of the head there. Seoul ducks underneath the last one and comes back through with that big Yakuza style kick there. And there's a kick return from Ashley Riot. These guys are just trading shots out there. Finished with a Savate kick style super kick there almost, taking Ash Riot down. Both of these guys are out there. They're trying to get the job done early, that is for sure. The referee making the 10 count. The wrestler certainly has it up to a 10 count to get back to his feet here. The referee giving him a standing 10 count. You can see Donnie St. Michael there at ringside making the count along with him. He's a hard target to miss.
Kick right to the face there by Seoul.
And the other thing that we are seeing here, this is very smart on behalf of Seoul. While Ash Riot is down on the mat and Ash Riot is in pain and Ash Riot is exerting all of his energy to get back to his feet, Seoul is resting, Seoul is recuperating, and Seoul is thinking about exactly what he's going to do next.
Oh, big running knee strike right to the side of the face by Seoul.
It was like Seoul was targeting him. He was setting up that shot at picture perfect, lining up the head straight, and he just ran straight through with that knee, with that shin right to the side of the head of Ash Riot that has him down. And there's the world's ugliest cheerleader, Donnie St. Michael, at ringside with words of advice once again for Seoul. And I believe that's it. I believe he's out. I'm pretty sure the referee just got to 10 and he is declaring Seoul the winner. Seoul ran through with that big shot to the side of the head.
One of the most vicious matches I've seen in a very long time, Mr. J.
Well, after coming up on the short end last time, I guess Seoul definitely with something to prove. His credentials were threatened out there, that he is one of the men to beat here in PWA Queensland. And he was out there to prove something, and unfortunately for Ash Riot, he was the victim of that proof.
Our next match of the evening is another of the Elite State of Origin series. This match will be fought under table match rules. First off, making his way towards ringside from New South Wales, weighing in tonight at 94.2 kilograms. He is the underboss in the 5-star mafia. He is Mikey Broderick.
With Australian wrestling's longest entrance.
And best haircut now, Mr. J.
You heard me say it from the ring announce position there. That haircut is money.
Do you reckon Johnny Ace ever did a tour of Australia back in around 88, 89?
You think we could be seeing a sort of a descendant, a relationship sort of thing here, perhaps? Father-son, kind of? Is that what we're getting at?
I was thinking bastard son.
Bastard son? Well, there's certainly the hair. The haircut is very similar to a Johnny Ace or a Jack Victory in their haircut prime. That's for sure.
Very much so.
Perhaps even a John Fun, a bit of a whispering Jack going on there as well.
You want to chuck me some DVDs?
He's asking for DVDs, Mr. J.
He's obviously looking for some pre-show entertainment, perhaps, before he starts the match. Perhaps looking to scout his opponent.
Maybe.
That's a smart move on the part of Mark Davis, and there's a combination of words that I never thought that I would hear myself utter with Mark Davis.
As you know, all merchandise available at every show and available online at www.pwaqueensland.com. We've got all the shows. We've got the highly acclaimed Rise of the Warriors, both night 1 and 2. We've got Proving Ground from Helensvale featuring Mason Charles, Ryan Eagles, their 30-minute draw. We've also got Initial Conflict, which featured Ashley Riot versus Seoul match 1, and Damian Slater versus Mason Charles for the international title, and also this release you're watching right now.
And did you see that? I believe Mark Davis just gave those DVDs to that ringside fan. That's something that you just find at PWAQ. Mark Davis giving away free merchandise for people that come to the shows.
Oh, well, I think that's why he didn't get paid for the show at the end of the night, Mr. J. Not that I have anything to do with that.
Is Josh Mars actually on the payroll? Do we actually cut him a check at the... I mean, do you know? He's one of these guys that just kind of seemingly just started showing up again to wrestling events. Not really sure exactly where he vanished for a few years.
Well, him and his cousin are known as the Starlight Squad. So maybe they have something to do with the Starlight Foundation. Maybe that's why Josh Mars, Starlight Foundation's top referee, bringing his cousin with him, doing ringside security.
Josh Mars, a fantastic referee. I, for one, glad to see him back. It's the haircut. Like, Josh Mars is a haircut that has been missing from professional wrestling.
Just have a look at these two, the clashing styles. You've got the young hip metro here, Mikey Broderick from Canberra, made a big name for himself in Canberra and PWA Elite. Then you've got Mark Davis. He's got the goofiness, he's got the mullet, he's got the black and pink pants. Total contrast.
And there's the hug. There's the I guess, I would say usually the pre-match hug, but I guess it's during the match, and you see the hug right off there, going in close, going in tight for the hug.
As Mark Davis says, friends don't shake hands, they hug. And he's out to just make friends with everyone, I guess.
Well, you've certainly seen the merchandise with the smiley faces, you've seen the stickers, you've seen everything else with Mark Davis.
The I am wearing a t-shirt t-shirt.
Indeed, one of my favourites.
And also the shirt that he got from your photo collection, the stylish Style Council man-on-man action kissing shirt.
I prefer if we stopped mentioning that it was from my collection, because it was actually physically a crime that it was taken, and there could be still legal action pending. Mikey Broderick on the outside now, just with words there to the ringside fans. Mark Davis there, I believe, with words to the cameraman. Not really sure.
Someone spreading the love of Jesus there.
Well, anyone would love somebody with a haircut like that. And Jesus was, you know, he sported a mullet for some time. Couple of back elbows there in the corner. Took his time to come through. Mark Davis caught him. Reversal on the Irish whip. Mark Davis goes up. Oh, shot to the eye. Takes down Davis straight to the mat. Mikey bouncing into the ropes. Comes through there with a kick to the side there of Davis, knocking him down to the mat. And Mikey taking his time to pose there, right in the centre of the cameraman's sights. I think he might have actually measured these out before the show, just to get the best camera angles for himself. He looks the type.
There's no pinfalls here, mate. It's a table match. If even Josh Mars can remember that, what are you doing in there? Oh no! The dreaded mullet wrench.
Wrenching down on the mullet, pulling up with the arms there. We don't want to see any sort of, I don't know if we're going to see darkened roots coming through on the mullet now. There could be an extension out. We don't want to see...
Natural, Mr. J.
We don't want to see any sort of Britney Spears looking extension type look here from Mark Davis. Because that, I believe, that haircut, 100% Davis.
Very much so.
Look at him drop down on that one. Davis goes face first into the mat. Mikey Broderick, once again, he's not taking advantage. I was about to say he's not taking advantage in any way, but it looks like he is actually going out looking for the table. And there it is, the table already being brought into this matchup. Mikey thinks that he's got things going his way enough. He's got the table up. Slide through there, baseball slide from Davis into Mikey through the table. Oh! Somersault splash off the side of the ring into him, takes him straight down.
Shades of Mick Foley there through Davis. Hitting the cactus senton off the apron to the floor.
There seems to be a bit of combination of chants there between the Jesus Loves You chant and the We Want Tables chant. Interesting crowd we got in tonight.
Very much so.
Mark Davis trying to introduce Broderick back into the ring. Broderick keen to get a bit of a breather before he rejoins. Shot to the midsection there, takes him down. Stuns him, looked like almost. Guillotine-like over that top rope. Throat first, bouncing Mark Davis back in, and look at Broderick on there posing for the fans. Is that a surfboard type maneuver there he was trying to do?
Either that or he was losing his footing.
Slides the table into the ring. Looks like Broderick thinks that he's got this thing won. He thinks that he has Davis in a position where he can set him up and put him through that table, which is of course the only way to win this matchup.
Mikey Broderick setting the table up in the corner. Mike Davis holding on to Josh Mars's leg. Not wanting to keep going.
And that's probably as close to any human companionship that Josh Mars has had in some time. Went into the table, reversed it, caught him on the shoulder, tried to throw it up there as well. Looks like he's setting him up for the suplex into the table, reversed again. Broderick rolls out of the way. Both of these men trying to get this one finished and throw their opponent into the table. Neither man wants that. Both have stopped it. The table's on the outside count because it looked like he just went head first into that table at ringside.
He didn't go through it, Mr. J, he just went on it. And as we've seen from past table matches in Queensland, sometimes it takes 5 or 6 goes to put your opponent through it.
That's exactly right. If recent history has shown us anything, it is certainly that. Mikey Broderick now set up on the table in the corner.
We see the butt. Oh, cut off with a leg lariat by Mikey.
Mark Davis is down, and the t-shirt is now coming off Mikey Broderick there. It's not really that much of a pose that I was seeing there from him. Looks like he's going to introduce the shirt into the match though, and that is indeed what he's doing. Sitting on the back, almost choking him out there, camel clutch style.
Making him humble.
Slapping across the back of the head, back of the mullet there. Moving the table again. Obviously he's got an idea for something else now.
Mikey Broderick. We've already said that Mike Davis may be the bastard love child of Johnny Ace. Could Mikey Broderick be the bastard love child of Kevin Von Erich? Very much looking like the only living Von Erich.
Gesturing to the crowd, saying that it's all over. I think he thinks that he's got Mark Davis here now, that he's going to put him through that table. Reversal on the Irish whip, catches him, picks him up. Oh, looked like he was going to try and backdrop him through the table or perhaps just throw him through. Either way, a reversal there with that spin around neck breaker there. Going for a cover once again, and referee Josh Mars has to say, this is a table match. You brought the table into this match. I would have thought you'd remember.
Mikey positioning the table again.
Even the fans are chanting table. You would think that would be a bit of a tip.
Mikey going for a modified Northern Lights driver of sorts. Davis going for a Northern Lights suplex, but Broderick cuts him off with a slap to the face.
And now he's throwing him to the outside. He's not going to get the match won on the outside. He's got the table set up in the ring. If he wants to win this match, then Mark Davis has to go through that table. I'm not sure exactly what Mikey Broderick has in mind at this point. Oh, he's got another table on the outside.
It's professional wrestling, Mr. J. You know there's 100 tables and 100 chairs under every single wrestling ring ever.
I often wonder who sets those things up, how they end up under the ring. Is it just a storage area? I've never actually bothered to look into that.
It's one of those things you just have to accept.
Setting him up on the outside now, introducing him to that ringside table, separating the fans from the action. And I guess also giving them something to set their cans of whatever on.
Obviously cans of Fanta, Mr. J.
That's an adult beverage if ever there was one. Mark Davis is slouching over that table. It looked like Broderick was thinking of going to the top and coming straight through the table. Davis has followed him up there now. Bit of a bubba chop there.
Bit of a brain chop. Shades of the great Carly.
Shots to the midsection, setting him up. Powerbomb through the table from the side of the ring, it looks like. Blocked again. Both men precariously close to the edge there and precariously close to that table. Low blow there has Davis just about tumbling through it. Davis back into the ring. Broderick looks like he's climbing to the top now. He's going all the way to the top. Davis is on the mat. Big elbow right from the top. Davis is down. Davis is hurt. Broderick definitely with things going his way. He's setting the table up in the corner, and I think at the moment he is thinking that this match is his for the taking.
Just once again, this is a qualifier for the PWA Queensland 4-man showdown final, which will be held at Halloween Holocaust.
Got him set up now on that top rope. Davis is climbing up. Not sure exactly what he's setting him up for here. Looks like he might be setting him up for a superplex. Broderick's blocking it. He's on the table. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good for Davis. Straight through on top of Davis, through the table.
He just stomped his face through the table, Mr. J.
Mark Davis, what is Style Council doing out here? Mark Davis is down. Mark Davis is hurt. Mark Davis certainly with a history with the Style Council, but we saw Mikey Broderick has definitely won this table match. He's put Davis straight through the table, and now we're seeing the Chad and we're seeing Deacon both into the ring. I'm not sure of their relationship with Mikey Broderick.
Well, we all remember last month, the Style Council t-shirt, Deacon Star using the chair to score the win.
Big scissor kick there. Takes down Davis. The Chad is in the ring, and I guess this is more his stylish street clothes attire, perhaps. Still with do-rag combo.
Still with the do-rag.
See, I'm getting it now. Do-rag. I can use it in everyday conversation.
Is that the peach shirt that Deacon Star is wearing?
I believe it could be. I believe it could be.
Kids these days and their styles. They've brought another table into the ring, Mr. J.
That's right. This match is over. This match has finished, and Style Council were not a part of it. But it looks like Style Council, they're setting Deacon Star up on that top rope. Both men getting either side of him. This does not look good, rather, for Mark Davis straight through the table with that double powerbomb from the Style Council. Deacon Star and the Chad Skyze.
You don't make fun of Style Council or something, you say so.
Right, you guys ready for main event? 60-minute Ironman match coming up. Let's get our first opponent out here now, come on.
This is what I brought you, this is what I brought should depart, just promise one thing. Kiss my eyes and lay me to sleep. This is what I brought you, this you can keep. This is what I brought you, you forget me. I promise you my heart.
This match is for the PWAQ International title. It will be contested under Ironman rules with a 60-minute time limit. To my left, here tonight at 101 3/4 kilos, he is the Don of the 5-Star Mafia. He is the Don, Riot Eagles. His opponent is the reigning and defending PWA International Champion, weighing in tonight at a lean 90 kilos from Queensland's beautiful Gold Coast. He is your champion, Mason Child! Both men already gone 30 minutes. Tonight they go 60 minutes. Who's the score? The most score. Who's the champion, the winner?
The call is right down the middle.
Right down the middle. The first ever match in Queensland, Mr. J, and probably the second only ever in Australia. A 60-minute Ironman match.
I've got the Gordon Solly energy drink set up for this one. I'm hoping my voice holds out. 60 minutes. Mason Childs, Ryan Eagles. This match is set to, I guess, finally answer the question. Mason Childs has been put up on a couple of situations against Ryan Eagles, and he thinks that he has had the match won, yet he has had that last victory taken away from him at the end, whether it was when they went 30 minutes and Ryan Eagles refused to actually let the match go any longer. There have been many times that it has looked like Mason Childs has had the win, but it has actually managed to slip out of his hands. Tonight, that should be answered in this Iron Man matchup.
60 minutes, 1 hour. It's all going to happen tonight.
It'll be interesting to see how these men take this match. It is a match, obviously, that is based a lot around stamina and based almost as much around skill. But both of these men are taking their time to get this match started. They have got 60 minutes to prove who is the better man. Why would they not take their time out there? Neither man wants to go out there early and face injury. Neither man wants to be taken out in the first 5 minutes and then spend the next 55 minutes protecting that one body part that may have been done early. These guys are both going to have to be protective of their bodies to go the full hour.
As you've seen, Ashley Riot in the corner of Mason Childs, Mikey Broderick and Adam Gambino in the corner of Ryan Eagles, having a little bit of a team talk in the corner.
Well, you're noticing Ryan Eagles is taking his time in getting this match started. Every time he's about to get the match started, the referee has, he brings his men into the ring, the referee starts making the count. Ryan Eagles is definitely biding his time, and he is definitely making the PWA International Champion wait to get this match started.
I believe this will be one thing in the match, Mr. J. If Mason Childs loses his cool, he seems to lose it mentally, and it may go against him in this.
Well, Mason Childs, I think, is a very emotional wrestler. He goes out there with something to prove. He goes out there to prove that he is the best wrestler in not only Queensland, but in Australia. And if that hothead gets the best of him, and look at Mikey Broderick now, going in there with the ringside fans. You're looking at people trying to break it up there. Gambino's in there as well. Well, I guess Ryan Eagles told him. You saw drinks flying. You saw these guys going head-to-head with ringside fans. As I was saying, Mason Childs can be very hot-headed in the ring. This is a match that he's going to have to show some level of control to last the 60 minutes. If he goes out all guns blazing to start off with, he could very well tire early, and that will definitely play into the hands of Ryan Eagles.
Very much so. Ryan Eagles stalling, trying to play the mind games already in this match.
Ryan Eagles out at ringside there, wearing one of those PWA t-shirts there. I'm noticing PWA Queensland now have their own t-shirts as well for sale over the website and at the shows.
They do. We've got stylish green and black, we've got championship gold, gold and black, and we've got mighty Queenslander maroon and white. All available at www.pwaqueensland.com.
Ryan Eagles slow to hook up, and it looks like these two guys are going to finally make contact for the first time in this matchup. Greco-Roman tie-up, both of these guys just, I think, trying to feel each other out in the early stages now of this matchup. Neither man prepared to commit much this early. Both men have been training long, have been training hard. I'm sure both have been viewing the other's matches, viewing the other's tapes. They've fought each other in the past, but never to this level. Never for 60 minutes. Ryan Eagles sets Mason Childs up and just a quick smack on the head for him. I think, if anything, that's just going to piss Mason Childs off and make him more angry, and perhaps that is entirely Ryan Eagles' thing. I said if Mason loses his temper, if he loses his cool, that could be his downfall, and perhaps that's exactly what Ryan Eagles is hoping for. Trying to set him up in the corner, referee's asking for the break. Neither man looks keen to give it at the moment.
Both men scrapping for the advantage there, and both breaking before the 5 count in the corner.
You can just tell from the demeanour of both of these men that both of them are out there to win, both of them are out there with something to prove, both of them are certainly looking to show that they are better than the other man. Never before, I think, have I seen two men out there with something to prove as much as these two.
Very much so, Mr. J. They've already gone 30-minute draw. Ryan Eagles thought he got the rough end of the stick in Rise of the Warriors. going to the semi-finals against Chris Hero, just losing. Mason Childs going all the way. They had that altercation at the end of the belt presentation ceremony, and now we're at this point in Cleveland.
And certainly that footage can be viewed on YouTube. It can be viewed on the Rise of the Warriors DVDs. And right now, look at Ryan Eagles holding in with the head scissors there. Mason Childs tries to roll out of it, rolls up and over on it into a side headlock there of his own, wrenching down on it and weighing down with his body weight onto Ryan Eagles. And I guess both of these men trying to take away some of the energy from their opponent. They're probably about 5-10 minutes into the match at this point. What they're trying to do is tire out the other man. They're trying to take the life from him, and if he can't get the gas, there is no way he's going to last for 60 minutes.
Ryan Eagles there using the ropes for leverage and to his advantage. I'm sure in this match we're going to see him take as many shortcuts as he humanly can.
It's behind the referee's back. Fozzie missed it, and he can only call what you see. Mason Childs tries to roll out of it, at least gets himself into a position on top, goes for a cover there for a 2 count. Both of the men look like they're rolling over, jockeying for position there. Both men in positions to put the shoulders to the mat. As I've said, neither man wants to be hurt. Neither man wants to be counted down, certainly not at this early. Both men back to their feet. You're noticing that at this stage still there hasn't been a lot of contact between either man. Certainly not a lot of high risk or high impact type maneuvers. It's still been more of feeling out going on between the two of them.
Well, neither man has really wrestled this kind of time length, so you've got to suspect that they're both going to have a lot of caution going into the match.
They don't want to peak early, and if anything, they want to peak towards the end. If you can have your man hurt and you're still in a position to take advantage of it, why would you not at the 50-minute mark, and with your opponent worn down, take advantage and get as many pinfalls as you can? Obviously, both men, they want to be the one in the winning position at the end of this match, and they want to be the one looking the best at the end of this match. This is for all the marbles. This is an Iron Man match for the PWA International Championship.
You just said it, this is for it all. And another hair takedown there by Ryan Eagles.
Fozzie Young is calling him on it. He certainly doesn't want to lose the first fall by a disqualification if he can help it. That's just like giving one away. Mason Childs, I guess, saying it's tit for tat. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
And Ryan Eagles once again bailing to the outside.
He's out there with his posse, as the kids might say. Gambino and Broderick both on the outside there. Ryan Eagles regrouping. I guess, you know, resting, getting polished down there by Gambino. And look at Mason Childs, inviting him back into the match. Referee's making a 10 count on them on the outside. He doesn't want to be counted out to lose a fall either. That's just, once again, giving Mason almost like one up.
That's just the thing about Ryan Eagles. He's just a very arrogant, rude individual. You walk into the backstage area, no one's around him besides his little group. He's just there with his little posse, being a very arrogant individual.
Well, we saw he was handling the ringside fans' gear earlier, wearing that Uncle Sam hat in ringside there, looking like some enormous cigarette or something. It was certainly noticing the size of his head. I'm not saying he was big-headed, but his head was far too big for that hat. And there you see him once again weighing down with that body weight onto Mason Childs and just wrenching that forearm across the face and eyes.
Ryan Eagles hooking the arm there as well.
Rolls through, cradles him for a 2 count. Comes back now with a front face lock. Mason trying to get back up to his feet. Ryan Eagles trying to stop losing his positioning there. Mason comes over the top with the wrist lock. Ryan Eagles trying to shrug out of it. Comes through underneath, one of his own. Takes Mason down with a back heel trip. Comes over the top.
Somewhat of a heel hook there, Mr. J.
And certainly working on it now with that ankle lock type submission hold. Not sure if Mason Charles is trying to make it to the ropes or whether he's just trying to break out of it.
Ryan Eagles back to that headlock.
Wrenching down on the side headlock. Irish whipped off from Mason Childs. Comes through with a shoulder block that takes him down. Side headlock once again, says Ryan Eagles. His t-shirt says Rebuilding Tradition. Perhaps the tradition of Tom Rocky Stone. Oh, the tradition of Iron Mike Sharp. But either way, he goes taken down from that big shot from Mason Childs. Hooks the leg there, 1 count only.
And back to that armbar, Mr. J. Wearing down the arm. One of Ryan Eagles' main weapons is his Bohemian Rhapsody lariat. If Mason Childs can wear down the arm, take out the arm, that lariat will be useless.
Smart wrestling on the part of Mason Childs. This is thinking ahead, and that is the thing you have to do in an Iron Man matchup. You can't be thinking for the now. You have to be thinking for in 30 minutes' time, and that certainly looks to be like what we're seeing from the champ. And once again, back to the arm. He's got the wrist and wrenches it round. Ryan Eagles now comes underneath, back to a front waistlock, rolls behind. Was that a 3?
Handful of tights too, Mr. J.
Handful of tights indeed. Rolled him up from behind. Schoolboy and grabbed the tights for the 3 count. The first fall in this 60-minute Iron Man matchup.
We have a 1 minute rest period now, Mr. J. In between every fall, there will be a 1 minute rest period.
Okay, well, I'm back from the concession stand. I have the hot dog, I have the drink. I'm almost ready to keep going here for the 60 minutes. Ryan Eagles saying it is 1-0 thus far. He is 1 up in the falls in this 60-minute Iron Man matchup.
As you saw in the rest period there, Mason Childs not too happy with the officiating of Graham Fozzie Young so far. Ryan Eagles, handful of tights, as we all know, very against the rules.
Well, as I said earlier, if there is one thing that I could see as being Mason Childs' downfall in this match, it is his temper. And unfortunately, it's already looking like he may be losing it, especially towards the referee, and especially towards, obviously, his opponent, Ryan Eagles. Mason Childs is believing that he is the hard-done-by party here. We've also obviously got a referee up from Sydney for this show. Whether the impartiality is coming into the equation, I don't know. Fozzie Young is a very respected official, but, I mean, these are the guys that he works with on a regular basis. He's up for Queensland for the big match. Time will tell how impartial he is.
These are the guys that pay Graham Fozzie Young's wages. They're the ones that keep his family eating. They're the ones that put petrol in his car. So yes, do make a very valid point there, Mr. J.
Once again, Ryan Eagles not keen to get this. He's got the advantage. He's taken the first fall. But once again, buying himself some time and making Mason Childs wait, making Mason Childs riled up further for the time when he gets back into the ring. And perhaps it will be that temper that as Mason Childs makes a mistake. And you've got to remember, Mason Childs, certainly he has Ashley Riot there to back him up. But, oh, look at that slide through into Ryan Eagles' baseball slide. Mason Childs has decided he will wait no longer. He is taking it to him. Are they going into the crowd?
They're going into the crowd, Mr. J.
They're heading straight towards the cameraman looking at from the monitor here. These guys are everywhere. They're in the middle of they're going through the crowd, and it looks like the crowd is following them. Are they on the concession stand now?
Maybe he took one of those Chad Skyze cutouts or one of your Josh Mars cutouts and gave him a shot with it.
Mason Childs there with words once again for the referee. That looked like a stiff knee, and there's another one to the head of Ryan Eagles.
Third, Ryan Eagles reverses the whip, sends Mason headfirst into that brick wall.
And that brick wall has got no give, whichever way you look at it. I'd sooner run into Blakestone than I would into that wall. Did he just say he dares the referee to count him out?
Low blow. Once again.
Mason is down from the low blow. Ryan Eagles seems to be making his way back towards ringside. I can hear the count being made. Mason's still on the outside. I can't see from this vantage point exactly where Ryan Eagles is now. Well, Ryan Eagles is in the ring. Mason Childs looks to have been counted out, which I would guess is 2 falls now to Ryan Eagles.
2-0 to Ryan Eagles.
He should not dance.
No.
He should not dance. His career as a Chippendale, I understand, was incredibly short, and after that little outburst, I can see why.
It's because of the big ass, isn't it, Mr. J?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Well, I certainly wouldn't say that, but it's something that he might hear. I might think it, but I wouldn't say it. Mason Childs obviously hurt, and obviously, well, he's going to be angry. He's 2 falls down, and both of the falls were as a result of, well, underhanded tactics, shall we say, on the part of Ryan Eagles. We had a trunk fall, and we had a low blow for Ryan Eagles to take the 2 falls that he is ahead.
Just blatant cheating, Mr. J. If Mason is to come back in this match, he has to score a fall. He has to score it very soon. As you're seeing the time, we're well under 15 minutes in. The time is slipping away.
And you look at Mikey, Broderick and Gambino, they're both happy. And you can see Ashley Riot, the concern on his face that I guess his mentor almost, Mason Childs there, is down 2 falls in this, which is also in part, I guess, a state of origin matchup in itself. We're seeing New South Wales and Queensland go at it once again.
This has gone further than state of origin, Mr. J. This has gone further than PWA Elite versus PWA Queensland. This is personal. Both men have something to prove here.
And look at Ryan Eagles, once again, just almost a study in confidence, a study in arrogance, perhaps. He's just standing there. And look at that, once again, pushing past the referee, delivering that kick to the midsection of Mason Childs before Mason Childs can even react.
Do you think he was a fan of the Steiner brothers with his one boot colour different to the other?
I just sort of thought he was perhaps colourblind. I'm not really sure. Or perhaps that he left one in Sydney. Or I really don't know the details behind the boots.
Camel clutch and a fish hook there.
Perhaps we could consult with the Style Council. They may be able to give tips on it. Colour conscious that they are. But this is certainly what it has come to. This is certainly what it's all led up to until this point. The previous shows, the previous showdowns, the previous meetings of Mason Childs and Ryan Eagles have all come to this Iron Man matchup. 60 minutes, it will settle it all tonight. There will be one winner. One of these men will walk away able to say, I am the better man. And one of these men will walk away as the PWA International Champion.
Forearm there by Ryan Eagles. A second by Ryan Eagles.
And a right hand from Mason Childs and another one. I think I've seen that before.
I think it's his birthday, isn't it?
Shot to the side of the head again, blocks it again. There's another one. Multiple right hands right to the top of the head of Mason Childs. Irish whips him off. And a big boot. And there's they're not quite that impressive pose now, but pose nevertheless.
At least he's got the rundown right.
What exactly was that cover though? He did have the run pretty. There was a picture in my head. I'm not really sure who it was. It might come to me later. The colouring's right though. The yellow evokes memories of some sort. He's climbing to the top now. Oh, missile drop kick from the top. Going up top once again from the looks of it. Oh, and brought back down to earth. Mason Childs setting him up on the shoulders.
Millennium Driver time.
Drops him straight down with the Millennium Driver. Mason Childs rolls over, hooks the leg too. It's three. That was a three. Mason Childs brings up the score. It is now 2-1. Still in favour of Riot Eagles, but Mason Childs finally gets back on the scoreboard with a fall there.
Stay on him.
And that is not good for Riot Eagles. Look at him being dragged back to the corner there by his henchman. The Tweedledee and Tweedledum of the 5-Star Mafia helping Riot Eagles back to his corner, trying to breathe some life into him after being dropped on his head by that Millennium Driver. That is one of the, I guess, most vicious moves, most powerful moves in Mason Childs' arsenal. Mason's down.
Mikey Broderick snuck around behind before low blowing Mason Childs. Probably the third low blow this match.
I'm sure Mason Childs, like anyone else in a similar position, is probably thinking the old line that if you could get away with the pain, that would be great, but if you could keep the swelling, that would be fine too. But Mason Childs down on the mat, being helped back. And is that Gambino coming through now?
Gambino laying a cheap shot in there.
And look at him walking away like some Billy Bunter looking naughty schoolboy at ringside there. Some wannabe mafioso faction here that they've got going on. Oh! Run straight through with that big clothesline, that big lariat. For another pinfall on behalf of Riot Eagles. That one entirely set up by his men, entirely set up by Gambino and by Broderick. He ran through with that big Bohemian Rhapsody lariat, ran straight through Mason Childs, and I guess that's 3-1 now on the favour of Riot Eagles.
It's looking like there's a title change happening, Mr. J. And it will very well be the first title change in PWA Queensland history.
Mason Childs unhappy. Mason Childs can certainly not be happy with the fact that that fall was almost out of his control. It wasn't as a result of the man he was facing. It was as a result of the seconds for the man that he was facing. I believe Mason talking to the referee about it, perhaps questioning how the referee could have missed both the low blows from both men. And Riot Eagles still with words to the fans at ringside, who I believe were questioning his, well, shall we say, tactics in this matchup as well. Fozzie Young about to restart the match. The rest period must be over. Mason ducks underneath, comes back through with a lariat of his own. Takes Ryan down. Irish whip off on him. There's a big shot, and look at Riot Eagles, the pain etched into his face now. Shots right to the top of the head. And listen to the fans get right behind Mason Childs, who is as fired up as I have seen him out here tonight. Big full body slam. And a big power elbow.
Goes for the cover. 1, 2. 2.5 there, Mr. J.
Mason Childs noticeably upset, almost a step out here at the moment. He is down 2 falls and he hits one of the big moves there, the big elbow, and can't get the win. He has got to be angry. Has he got the armbar locked in there? From the look, it looks like he had something locked in anyway. Rolled over with it. Setting through on it now. Looks like he's going for a submission, trying to set Mason into numerous different submission holds, and I guess position him away from the ropes.
The rings of satin type of hold there, Mr. J.
And listen to the fans get behind Mason. Mason Child's foot on the ropes. Referee has to break the hold. And then a stomp on the arm from Ryan Eagles. Going to work on that arm. Drops down on it with the leg drop, then locks it in.
Short arm scissors there by Ryan Eagles. Deciding to take apart the body part of Mason Childs.
Well, Ryan Eagles now, he's got the advantage in this match. He has a 2-fall lead. Perhaps he's in fact just trying to tie up this match. He's trying to tie up Mason Childs and perhaps just run the time out. If he can keep Mason Childs on the match for 30 minutes, or rather on the match for 30 minutes, it's going to be an incredibly boring match for the fans in attendance, but it will mean that Ryan Eagles will win the title.
That's very true. Mason Childs now down 3-1. Ryan Eagles escaping that head scissors, going right back to the arm.
Goes underneath with it, wrenches it round, comes through with a shoulder block, shoulder to shoulder. Looks like he's trying to do damage to the shoulder, if not the elbow and wrist as well, and completely incapacitate that left arm of Mason Childs.
Come on, Mason. It's the arm, come on.
I really think there could be something to Ryan Eagles just trying to ground Mason Childs. He's just trying to keep him down. He's trying to actually keep the advantage that he has and not give Mason a chance to be putting himself into a pinning or submission type combination.
Oh! Stomp right to the shoulder. Really working that arm. Wrenching that arm in there.
And that was a stomp reminiscent of the good old days of '73, back when Nick XL was still stomping.
Stomped Ox Baker's teeth. Broke Ox Baker's teeth on Georgia TV. Came up with the Nick XL stomp.
That's exactly right. Ryan Eagles back to the top rope. Comes down with a splash, connects only with ring. Mason rolls through, hooks the leg. Is that a three? That was a three. That was a three, says Graham Fozzie Young. Mason is back in the scorecard again, bringing it up to 2-3 and putting it back within reach once again. And I guess Smalling making the lead that much smaller. Ryan Eagles now only ahead by 1 fall.
And that 1 minute rest period starts again, Mr. J. I think it's my round at the bar.
What are we up to? 3-2. Shit. No worries.
That was awesome.
It's like the Michael Hayes calculator thing for War Games. Michael Hayes and Polly Davis. One of my favourites.
30 seconds left. You're okay, baby. You're okay. I feel it. It's coming. It's yours.
I cut up just before I was staring right in front of the border just for him for 30 seconds, just right in his face. Just to make him laugh.
I like the fact that Gambino gets trying to steal food from people at ringside.
Alright, and we're back once again. Score is 3-2 in Ryan Eagles' favour. Mason Childs having a lot of troubles with that arm after Ryan Eagles extensively working it over. Mason scored fluke win with the Oklahoma roll just before. We're back within one.
And you heard Gambino, you saw the guys at ringside as well. You saw all of, I guess, Ryan Eagle's men telling him that he still has things going his way. He's went for the big wind-up punch there, got blocked. Mason Childs has him back up on the shoulders again. Drops him straight over, Death Valley Driver style. And that's a 3, is that evened it up?
It is, we are at 3-all, Mr. J.
And just that easy, it has come back to 3-all once again. Mason Childs was down 2 falls not that long ago, probably only in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and that is exactly what you see in an Ironman match. Both of these men obviously tired now, much more prone to actually take the damage quickly and stay down for the 3 count, and partially as well, the men, you've got to remember, have got to conserve their energy for the rest of this matchup. If they're going to take extra punishment, why not perhaps give up a fall if you have the lead? Why not perhaps give up the time if you have the lead if you think you can take advantage of it later?
You got to remember, Mr. J, back at Rise of the Warriors, Mason Childs wrestled Dal Knox, Dave Deluxio, and Chris Hero all in the one night. Altogether, that went just over an hour. Ryan Eagles himself, he beat the Machine, Blakestone, in the first round. He beat Ash Riot in the second round on the second night. And he also beat... He lost to Chris Hero in the semi-finals in a very hard-fought match. So both men, they have the heart, they have the determination to go this long. It is just a butting of heads at the moment.
Well, it was, you talk about Rise of the Warriors, that was really where the animosity started. Ryan Eagles believes he was screwed. Ryan Eagles, look at those multiple elbow shots there to the side of Mason Childs' head. Ryan's now got him up there on his shoulders as well. Look at him spinning him, he's going old school with a bit of airplane spin action.
Bit of Dino Bravo there for our fans.
And then drops him straight over. That was the move that got the pinfall for Mason Childs a few minutes ago, but it's not enough to put him away here from Ryan Eagles, and Ryan Eagles cannot be happy with that. Oh! Pile drives him straight down. And that is a 3.
Ryan Eagles regains his lead very quickly.
Well, was it any wonder after a pile driver there? It was a combination there. We saw the airplane spin. We saw him take that into a Death Valley driver, and from that straight into a pile driver. I'd be surprised if there's a man walking that would not be down after that. Mason Childs is down. He's only really got a minute to regain his senses here, and after that combination, it's unfortunate.
Ryan Eagles not sticking to the 1 minute break here, going straight for Mason.
Got him back up on the shoulders once again. And he's already started the spin once more.
Mason's starting to fight out of it with elbows. Oh, a bit of desperation there. Mason going for the ropes. Graham Fozzie Young seeing it, catching him out.
Well, Mason Childs once again behind the 8 ball, trying to make up that one loss.
The Mahi Stroll cradle there by Mason evens it up.
Once again, both men are even, and how quickly are we seeing pinfalls now? Now that both men are getting desperate, now that both men are more tired, now that both men are tasting the victory is within their grasp, now that they know that the time is counting down, both men out there trying to get the win. We are seeing pinfalls happen far more quickly out there.
Both men all putting it on the line.
Ryan Eagles is not liking what he is hearing. I believe Graham Fozzie Young about to get this one restarted again with another minute rest period just about over. 30 seconds remain. Adam Gambino looks almost blown up just from walking around ringside.
I think he is. He's put on a lot of extra weight in the last couple of months, Mr. J. Maybe he needs to hit the treadmill.
Mason Childs stepping back into the ring. I believe just checking the referee, the time, checking with the referee, the score at this point. Mason Childs obviously got to be a little staggered. Mason Childs has taken a beating and taken a lot of blows to the head in this match. He's taken Death Valley drivers, he's taken a pile driver as well. He's already had that injured arm. He's got to also be favouring the neck to a certain extent now. And look at that, Ryan Eagles once again going back to work on that left arm.
He's been kicked in the balls, he's been dropped on the head as you've said, and now the arm is getting worked once more.
You can say what you like about Ryan Eagles, you can say what you like about the shorthand tactics that he takes to win at all costs, but Ryan Eagles is a performer, and Ryan Eagles is a tough man in the ring. He will do anything he can to win the match, and he will do anything he can now that he tastes that PWA International title.
Ryan Eagles hooking on Mason Childs. Signature hold there, the dragon neck lock, trying to wear him down, work that right arm, that left arm, trying to stretch him, trying to get the submission win. We've seen roll-ups, we've seen Death Valley drivers so far, but neither man has tapped out to the other.
Mason Childs was faltering there, but managed to come through and rolled over on top, managed to put himself in a body position and actually used his own balance to take him over and put himself on top of Ryan Eagles there to wrench down on this on his own and try and drive some of the life from Eagles.
He's hooked the Screaming Eagles back on Ryan Eagles. Ryan Eagles' signature hold on him.
Ryan Eagles' foot on the ropes. I guess both men trading each other's submission holds there.
Ryan Eagles attacking the eyes once again.
Ryan Eagles still with time to badmouth the referee. Ryan Eagles seems almost distracted there now. He was wrenching the arm up there, then just stepped away from it to almost talk to the ringside fans.
Very boisterous crowd on hand tonight, Mr. J. They seem to be getting in the head of Ryan Eagles, Mikey, Broderick and Adam Gambino.
Well, it's been a long night here in PWA Queensland. Certainly we're looking at a 60-minute Ironman match here, and you can listen to the crowd, you can hear the excitement, you can hear the anticipation already. These guys have been out there for probably more than 30 minutes already out there, and these guys, you can listen to the fans, they're still right behind their man. They are still trying to get Mason Childs behind him and trying to get Mason Childs to get this win over this imposter, this man from Sydney, this Ryan Eagles who has come up here to try and take away the PWA International title and try and take it away from the PWA Queensland promotion.
Both men starting to get to their feet.
And look at them trading chops there. Both men like on their knees almost, back to their feet, still trading those chops. And now kicks as well, and back to that bad arm. Wrenches it over that rope and then pulling back on it as well, grabbing the fingers and grabbing the wrist. Was that a drop kick right to the shoulder?
It was a drop kick right to that injured arm.
Mason Childs obviously hurt, obviously favouring that arm, and Ryan Eagles is determined to just go to work on it. It's almost like he's forgotten about every other body part on Mason Childs now and just has a target firmly painted on that arm. And now throws him to the outside of the ring. This does not look good for Mason Childs. And was that Gambino coming over?
I believe it is. Mikey Broderick also in there as well.
And look at this. I mean, we can certainly see it perfectly clear now on the monitor here with Gambino and Mikey both going to work on Mason Childs. While in the center of the ring, the referee is just, I don't know what he's doing there. It looks like he's talking to Ash Riot. But the referee is certainly not noticing what's going on the outside. He's come over now, but the damage has been done. I'm still not 100% sure on Graham Fozzie Young, I have to admit. I'm not saying that he's been bought off by the PWA elite crew, by the 5-Star Mafia, but at the moment, I really don't know.
Who knows, Mr. J? He could just be having a bad night. Referees, wrestlers, even us commentators, we can have off nights. It seems that Graham is having a very off night tonight with this calling.
Ryan Eagles once again grabbing the arms, grabbing the wrist lock there and just pulling back on it. Fozzie Young's in position asking Mason Childs if he wants to submit. I think there's too much at risk now for Mason to I guess, risk losing another fall by submission, by something that is within his control. Sometimes you'll see a wrestler in these positions take the fall, like say, basically give up to not face further injury. But at this vantage point and at this point, I think it's too late for Mason Childs in that respect. And I don't think that is the type of wrestler that Mason Childs is, that he would give up a fall without fighting.
What do you say, Charles?
Ryan Eagles holding the point of the elbow up. Stomp right to the point of the elbow there by Ryan Eagles.
I'm sure Nick XL, who's managed to hold you out of sight for any camera shots on us for the whole night, just to keep himself on the camera, is looking on and salivating after these stomps.
Well, I may be handsome, but he is absolutely a stunning, gorgeous man, so I don't really blame him. It's not like I'm as ugly as that hot dog guy, but I'm not as ugly as the Starlight security guy, but I know where my place is, and it's not in the shot of you and Nick XL.
Ryan Eagles once again just laying on with that body weight, working over Mason Childs. I believe he made it to the ropes, and I think the referee is calling for the break.
Hey, come on, get off there!
I don't know how true it is or not, but I heard that Graham Fozzie Young was picked for this match over Josh Mars because, well, our insurance wouldn't cover Josh Mars' health if he had to last 60 minutes. I don't know how true that is. Mason Childs with a couple of big back elbows and a double-footed drop kick there takes Ryan Eagles down as well. Shining Wizard to the side of the head. Ryan Eagles down on the mat. Mason Childs goes for the cover. I think he would have had the 3 there, but Ryan Eagles made it to the ropes purely on instinct. Another one of the major moves from Mason Childs' arsenal. The Shining Wizard almost won him another pinfall.
Stomps right to the arse there by Mason Childs.
I don't even think I can call that looks devastating, shall we say? That did not look good for Ryan Eagles. Is Ryan Eagles a father yet? If he isn't by now, I don't think he ever will be after that.
Luckily he is, Mr. J. I've done my research, maybe you should do yours. You know he is. Him and Madison Eagles have a very lovely daughter. Old school slingshot into a half crab. Tonight we've seen slingshots, we've seen pile drivers, we've seen aeroplane spins. Your prediction on what else we will see from the old generations tonight?
Well, it's hard to say exactly what we're going to see in this matchup because both men looking very sped, both men looking very hurt at this point. And I think what we will see is both men going all out and trying to deliver everything they possibly can that will inflict punishment on the other guy and that will hold him down and keep him down, because both men now are obviously striving to get those pinfalls, to get those wins and put themselves back on the scoreline to get that advantage for this international title.
Very much. The time is ticking, Mr. J.
Ryan Eagles kicks off Mason Childs there. Drops through with an elbow into the leg now, and well, going to work on the knee and leg of Mason Childs. You saw him earlier go to work on the arm. It's like he's almost trying to take out the whole left side of the body of Mason Childs now.
There we go. We asked what the next old school move was. Looked like a figure 4, but Mason Childs getting the small package in to break the hold.
Certainly we saw a spinning toe hold, usually set up as a move before the figure 4, but didn't get a chance to follow through with it. Looks like he's getting it this time though. And he's got it set up there. It looks pretty close to the center of the ring. Mason Childs certainly looks like he's got a way to go to make it to the ropes. And you mentioned earlier, of course, Madison Eagles, the president of the PWA. interesting to see, I guess, how she's going to play in these things. We haven't heard a lot from her since attaining that position. Aside from obviously setting up our new commissioner, Nick XL, we haven't received much word from her. It'll be interesting to see just what happens after this match that Madison Eagles might have to say.
But she will be coming up September 22 at Helensvale Community Centre, Mr. J. She'll be there to face Sway in the very first ever PWA Queensland women's match.
PWA Queensland ever expanding in every way that it can. The women's division obviously being set up, being started as our next show. And of course, we're already seeing the international title being defended. We've seen the national title on display previously. We've seen the heavyweight title. PWA, everybody is coming to Queensland because they know that's where the action is.
Champion, we've seen every champion so far up here. Hopefully we will get to see the Canberra champion very soon.
Mason Childs taken down once again with that chop block to his left leg. Like I said, it looks to me like Ryan Eagles is just trying to take apart the whole left side of the body of Mason Childs. Setting him up in the corner. This does not look good for Mason Childs at all. He is completely prone out there. Ryan Eagles back to the corner. He's trying to get the fans to chant along with him. Oh! I'm not exactly what you'd call the lead up to that, but that was indeed a kick incredibly low and incredibly forceful to the already damaged, I guess, nether regions of Mason Childs.
I'm just surprised by how awesome that cartwheel was, Mr. J.
It was certainly something. It was certainly something.
Once again, Graham Fozzie Young not having a great night. Didn't call the low blow. Didn't call the DQ. Dragon neck lock.
He's got the neck lock hooked in. Fozzie Young is in position. He's checking him. Ryan Eagles looks like he's struggling to try and make it to the ropes. Once again, there looks to be a bit of distance over there. Is he grabbing the referee now?
Yes, he is.
Did the ref... What?
Ryan Eagles just sent Graham Fozzie Young head first into Mason Childs to break that hold up.
I mean, that's got to be, at least, that's got to be considered for a disqualification, surely, using the referee as a weapon.
Another Saito suplex for the night, this time by Ryan Eagles.
That wasn't a referee making the count. That was Gambino making the count there. The referee is still down, where Ryan Eagles pulled him down earlier.
You may have mistaken Gambino for Josh Mars there, but no, Gambino is about 10 kilos slimmer.
That looked about 2 9/10 there, and Ryan Eagles only has himself to blame there. If he hadn't actually already done the damage to Graham Fozzie Young to stop him from making the count, perhaps Eagles could have got that pinfall. Another suplex once again. Side salto, Saito style, takes him over with it.
Ryan Eagles now ahead once again, 5-4. No more, Ryan.
Mason Childs in the corner there. He's obviously hurting. He's obviously tired. Ryan Eagles up 5-4, and the time is now dwindling.
Hey, Ross, you want a drink? You want a drink? Come here, have a drink.
Mason there offering Graham Fozzie Young a sip of water. Gotta imagine Graham's night been very, very long. Already ref 3 matches. This is his 4th, and it's an hour-long match.
I'm sure Josh Mars probably already propping up a bar somewhere.
No, that was 2 o'clock at the afternoon of the show.
Right. I get those confused sometimes.
It's only natural.
Josh Mars, navigational genius. I'm surprised he even found the venue.
Pretty much. Well, the venue was very close to Dicey Riley's at Cleveland.
then yeah, I have no doubt he found it probably quite easily. They know him by name there. Mason's got him up on the shoulders and drops him straight down like a lawn dart. Rolls over immediately to the cover, and I believe that was a 3 count, tying it once again at 5-5.
Nice folding press there by Mason Childs on the outsider's edge, or the Fire Thunderbomb, depending if you're from Japan or if you're from America.
And look at the countdown, we can see the clock. We're under 7 minutes now.
45 seconds left.
And you can hear them say 45 seconds left of this rest period, which takes it down to about the 6-minute mark. Mason Childs, obviously a man of the people.
You heard him before. One more will win it, he believes. There's 7 minutes left. One more pinfall could be the decider.
Well, it's all come down to this moment. Both men are now tied. Whoever can score the submission, whoever can score the pinfall is the winner and is the champion.
Interesting to note, Mr. J, after 10 falls, not one of them has been by submission. Neither man refuses to tap out. It's either man being held down for the 3 seconds by each other.
And look at Ryan Eagles run straight in, perhaps going for the lariat. Oh, and back to a low blow. And once again, did you notice, referee's back turn? Referee missed it once again. I mean, if that was a disqualification at that point, you've got to figure that would put Mason very much in the driver's seat at this point with about 5 minutes left on the clock to get a win with a 1 minute rest period, but the referee's back was turned and he missed it.
Ryan Eagles calling for the powerbomb now.
Mason tried to block it, blocked it the first time, blocked it again.
Low blow, there's your receipt, big boy.
Yep, Mason Childs very unlucky there, missing both the thighs of Ryan Eagle. Taking him up, setting him up again. Atomic drop.
Shades of Bob Backlund. We can add that to the list, Mr. J.
That's right, we've seen a lot of old school stylings out there tonight. It's interesting, Ryan Eagles not in a hurry to get back into the ring. There's only a few minutes left. I mean, he's got to be determined as much as Mason Childs is determined to hold the belt. You've got to figure Ryan Eagles is determined to win the belt. And there's another atomic drop again, and Ryan Eagles just about tumbles out in front of on top of our cameraman. And a reverse one at that too, a nutcracker suite, if you will. Double leg trip takes him down. Oh!
And another stomp to the ankle behind of Ryan Eagles.
Well, it's a pretty hard target to miss. And Mason, I'd say Mason Childs is stomping a mud hole in him, but that's kind of an unfortunate turn of phrase considering the placement of his boot. And yet another low blow comes through with that big swinging kick to the back of the head. Mason Childs down, Ryan Eagles over top, locking in a submission hold.
Going back to his Screaming Eagles there, Mr. J. Screaming Eagles, the Anaconda Vice, the move that has won him many, many matches.
And Fozzie Young right in position to check if Mason is indeed going to submit. He's checking the arms. If it drops 3 times, as anyone in Wrestling Cliche 101 knows, that means Mason Childs is out of this match. That was only 2. This match will continue. Mason Childs didn't have a lot behind some of those shots to the head. It isn't any wonder after over 55 minutes. The kicks certainly connected, though. These ones definitely with a lot more vinegar behind them. Has he got it locked in? He's got it locked in. He's got it locked in pretty much the center of the ring. Gambino's up on the side of the ring trying to break it up. There's a shot to Gambino, knocking him off the side. Mason immediately goes back. Ryan Eagles is almost stunned in there. He can't get out of it. He is so tired. He is so worn down. Mikey Broderick is up on the side of the ring as well. Super kick for his trouble, and Broderick rolls into the first row, straight over the tables. Mason back to Ryan Eagles with the dragon necklock, locking it straight in. Fozzie Young is in position, checking to see if he's going to submit. Back to his feet, tries to peel him through. Mason hangs on to it, takes him over that time. No, Mason rolls through it and hooks it in once more. He's got the leg over top for added leverage, for added weight, dropping straight down on it.
We're at 2 minutes, Mr. J. 2 minutes left in this contest.
And look at Fozzie Young in position, checking. Ryan Eagles is doing everything he possibly can to get out of this hole. But at the moment, both of his boys are down on the outside. He is in the center of the ring, and Mason Childs has this locked in like a vice.
Both men tired, Mr. J.
And look at Fozzie Young. Fozzie Young is right in his face. He's checking to see if he will submit. Ryan Eagles once again struggling back to his feet. Mason Childs still hooked in. Ryan Eagles coming up with some weak left hands. Follows it through with a forearm there from the right. Looks like it's the lariat coming up. Mason blocks it, goes behind. And now he's got it locked in once again from a standing position. Things are definitely not looking good for Ryan Eagles. Center of the ring. Look at the arm behind. Look at the stretch. Mason Childs has it hooked around the neck and is just pressing back. Is just pulling back on it full force. Rolling back with it. Ryan Eagles trying to make it to the ropes. Mason Childs, you can see the expression of pain. You can see the expression of force etched in Mason's face as he's pulling back on it. He's trying to grab the referee to break hold. This is Ryan Eagles. He's coming in. Ryan Eagles is struggling. Ryan Eagles is... I honestly don't know.
He's got to be out there. Why isn't he checking the arm, Mr. J? He is out cold.
He's not moving. He's not... The referee's calling for the bell, I think. Did he... I'm not sure if that... Was that the time limit? I believe the referee has called the time limit.
It's 5-all, Mr. J.
Mason Childs is saying he had him beat, and you can certainly... Fozzie Young did not check the arm of Ryan Eagles, so I mean, I don't know if Ryan Eagles was out or not. Fozzie Young did not check the arm. I questioned this earlier, exactly where Fozzie's allegiances lie, but... I mean, there's no proof, but Mason Childs is certainly upset, and perhaps justifiably so. He had that move locked in. Ryan Eagles was not going anywhere. I think Mason's asking for 5 more minutes.
He didn't get it in Helensvale. Will he get it tonight? 5 more minutes. There needs to be a winner.
They've already gone 60 minutes. At the 60-minute mark, Mason Childs had that submission hold locked in. He had that dragon necklock locked in. He believed he had the match won. Graham Fozzie Young did not see it. Graham Fozzie Young called for the finish at the 60-minute mark. Ryan Eagles only now, about a minute later, is even starting to make it back to his feet. And you can hear what the fans want.
And again, he leaves.
Ryan Eagles denying him once again.
I'm going home. Ryan Eagles, he's saying he's not giving you 5 more minutes. He's saying he's going home. Mason Childs.
Mason very upset. Fozzie saying, oh! A big super kick to Graham Fozzie Young from Mason Childs. Fozzie was saying, you're still the champ. You haven't lost the belt, but there was more to this match than that. And I believe that was Mason Childs' temper just snapping right at that point. Mason Childs visibly upset here at the end of this Iron Man matchup.
That I'm just disgusted. That is not the conduct of a champion.
Well, Mason Childs obviously bringing into question Graham Fozzie Young's officiating. Mason believes he had it won.
Fair call. We'll sign off. You head backstage, Mr. J. You see if you can get the exclusive. I'm handsome Michael Schultz. On behalf of Mr. J, thank you for watching.
With a victory, retaining his belt on a technicality.